We're here at the grave of Eddie Colman, famous Salford footballer, Manchester United player, and sadly, as we all know, a victim of the terrible Munich air disaster in 1958. Now, Eddie was born in the Odsal area of Salford and soon showed what a prolific, wonderful footballer he was. Played for Salford boys, Lancashire boys, Manchester County, and he was snapped up by Manchester United in 1952. I never had the pleasure of seeing Eddie play, sadly, but I know he earned the nickname of Snake Hips, such as his skills at slalom, dribbling, all round great footballer, terrible waste. Eddie made his first team debut for United when he was just over his 19th birthday against Bolton Wanderers. Again, I can't stress or emphasise what a great footballer he must have been. He was only 21 when he died. That's tragic. He was the youngest of the Busby babes to die in that crash. Youngest of anyone on the plane of the footballer's eyes. Eddie played 107 games for United, including 13 European appearances, and it's startling to see what he could have achieved if he'd have lived. Now, you have to remember the World Cup was '66 and Eddie would have still been in his prime, and I'm certain Eddie would have played for United, for England I should say. He'd have played for United for many years, possibly captaining them. Wonderful team we had, and Busby babes, never be forgotten. Now, I've seen photographs of this grave, and there used to be a small white marble footballer with his foot on the ball, which was at the side of me. Sadly, it's been vandalised over the years, and I believe the family took it away. That's a terrible thing to do, isn't it? It really is. And also I saw another photograph from 1959. The great Real Madrid side visited Eddie's grave. On the photograph is Puskas, Di Stefano. It's a great photograph, and I think we will be able to include a shot of it in there. On the day of Eddie's funeral, the final story, and a few friends of mine used to go to a school at the top of this road, All Souls. And on the day of the funeral, they were allowed out of school to watch the funeral cortege past the school and into the cemetery. I thought that was a nice gesture. I know the streets of Salford were lined with thousands of people, such as the esteem Eddie was held in. So this is his final resting place, and what a great man, great Salford man. And if you pass in, stop and have a look and lay a flower for Eddie. Cheers. This is the final resting place of Father Salvatore Caruccio. What is unusual about this grave is he's the only Roman Catholic priest buried in this cemetery. All of the others are buried in Weaste Cemetery. I can only think the reason he's buried here is because he was the parish priest of All Souls School for a countless number of years, which was just at the top of the road. He was born in Naples on Christmas Day 1846. And as he approached his teens, he was conscripted into the army. Now, Salvatore declared himself a pacifist and deserted. Made his way to England, became a priest, and he was ordained at Salford Cathedral. I've read bits about the man, I don't know too much, I must admit. I do know that he was the priest for All Souls Church and the schools. He was there for at least 6-7 years. He died of bronchitis, and this is his final resting place. He died on the 27th of December 1903 from bronchitis, and this is his final resting place. Nice Celtic cross, I think you'd call that, wouldn't you? We're in the Catholic plot of Weaste Cemetery, and this is my grandfather's grave. This is on my mother's side, the Moran family, Moran, Moran. You decide. Now, Walter, he died, he was only aged 36, but he fought in the Great War. He was in the Lancashire Fusiliers, fought the Battle of the Somme, various other hellholes on the Western Front, survived that, and came back, and he died, I think it was of pleurisy. Now, his wife, Elizabeth, my nana, lived on King Edward Street, in Tatton Street area of Regent Road. That's where my mother was born, on Tatton Street. This is another one of her daughters, Renee. Renee died in 1991. As I say, my nana died in 1984. It's a nice headstone. I'm glad I actually came to the funerals, obviously. Sad, but we've got to a final resting place, haven't we? This is the grave of George William Fernley. His claim to fame is he saved 22 people from drowning, but not one of them in Salford. He saved people's lives in Manchester, Australia, where he emigrated, various parts of the world. Now, the thing I found interesting, he saved a young lad's life. The lad's name was John McGrath, only a young boy, in Castlefield, the canal there. Now, he saved his life 3 times, and after the 3rd rescue, the lad got burnt to death in a house fire. Now, ironic, or what? It's totally bizarre, isn't it? You've got to admit that. In January 1886, George emigrated with his family to Queensland, Australia, hoping to find his fortune prospecting in the goldfields. He did, however, find time to rescue people from drowning in Melbourne, and on the way back, he saved people from drowning in Ceylon. He seems to attract trouble, doesn't he, this fella? Strange chap, but he did actually save all these people's lives, and full credit to him for that. One of his final rescues was back in Manchester. He saved a chap from drowning in 1901. Now, sadly, he contracted an illness from the dirty water, became ill. A fundraiser was held for him at Regent Road, Baths, and he was awarded the Salford Humane Medal for obviously bravery, and he was given a purse of £45. Sadly, this wasn't enough to save his life. He succumbed to his illness several years later. And this is his marvellous headstone. I'll have to read this little bit to you. It's from the Salford Reporter, Distorter, and it says, his funeral on Monday the 5th of December 1904, amid many lamentations of regret. Lovely expression, isn't it? The funeral cortege was brought here, and again there was hundreds of people lined the route, and the house on Cemetery Road, they had the windows, curtains drawn as a mark of respect. Something you don't see nowadays. I can remember as a kid curtains being drawn on houses when someone had died. Don't know the significance, but anyway, this is the grave of the man, so if you're passing, stop and have a look. It's worth it. Just come across this rather unusual gravestone. Well, it's not even a gravestone, is it? It's just a cast iron mound where a gravestone is fitted in, as you can see. It's in the B plot, if that helps anybody. Now, the only thing I can find, and it says aged 12 years, it's a child. And there's shattered pieces on the floor which are ineligible. Illegible. So there's this, aged 12 years, obviously a child, and another piece is smashed on the floor which are completely illegible. So if anybody knows anything, I'd love to hear about it. It's so unusual. Thousands of people must have passed it and seen it, but that's all that remains of these poor people. This is the final resting place. This is the final resting place of Father Salvatore
Caruccio.
Now, I know he was born in Naples on Christmas Day. I'll just check my notes for the year, I'll come back to that. And this is his final resting place. What does that mean?
Car.
We'll start from the beginning.